Ay, ay, ay. We're here. We're here at La Isla. Here at La Isla. If you know, you know. But I promised y'all that I was going to give y'all the club reviews. Right, I'm starting with La Isla today. I know for a fact I am not going to those two other clubs tonight. Mainly because I just don't feel like it, right? I feel like when you go to more than one club in one night, you really don't get that genuine experience, right? If I come here for an hour, go to another place for an hour, go to another place for an hour, I'm not getting that genuine experience, right? So I'm going to spend some time here in La Isla. We'll see what happens, right? I don't plan on doing anything, but I've done a lot of things in my time that I didn't plan on doing. Pause. But yeah, we're here at La Isla, man. We're here at La Isla, the world-renowned club, and we're gonna see how things have changed. I will say that the entrance is different. It's a lot different than it was 4 or 5 years ago, which is fine. Change is good. The improvement is better. The lights, the scenery, the ambiance. They got snacks outside. They didn't have this 5 years ago. It's a little different. So they're investing in the business. And I appreciate and I respect businesses that take the money that they're getting and investing in, making the establishment look better, and catering more towards the tourists. So that I respect. Oh, but yeah, we here in La Isla, man. I'm about to go in here and see what's going on. Hopefully they got something to eat. I'm a little hungry. Hopefully they got something to eat. Yeah, I'm at the ATM machine because La Isla don't have no ATM machine, which they should. I think they should. But nonetheless, I had to catch an Uber here to get some money. Wasn't part of my plans, but it is what it is. What's wrong? Let's go with. We'll go there. Wasn't part of the plan. So here's some guidance, man. Here's some guidance. Look, $28,500 service fee. It's crazy. Here's some guidance, man. Before y'all go to La Isla, ensure you have some pesos. Right? They said the guy said they'll take dollars, which is cool. And I'll show you something. 500,000 pesos plus the 28,500 fee. Blah 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 blah. $148.73. $148.73. Just so you know. But please ensure that you have cash. I don't know what that means, but hey, my friend, can you come here for a second? My friend, that was quick. They don't have an ATM. Going to the. Sorry, I have to get money. So I'll give you the code. It's 1785. Okay, sure. Just left La Isla. Man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was beautiful, man. I'm about to start crying. It was an amazing experience. I'm gonna talk more about it in a second, but that was when I get home. But that was an amazing experience. An amazing experience. There's so many beautiful women in La Isla. There's so many beautiful women in La Isla. So many beautiful women in La Isla. And here's the thing, man. You have to understand.
Hey, how you doing? I need a favor. I need a favor. I know I'm sitting here hanging backwards like 50 Cent at the Super Bowl, but I need a favor. I'm not asking for money, donations, clicking the link, nothing like that. Do me one favor. Can you do that for me? It's free. I swear. Hit that subscribe button.
And the power of a man, right? People say strong man, weak man, whatever. The power of a man lacks when there's intimacy involved, right? When there's women involved, when there's naked women involved, when there's, when a woman can control a man through what's down below, right? A woman can control a man through what's down below. And I've never been jerked off so much in my life. Like I was in there like 2 hours, and every woman that's coming over there trying to jack my pants. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. And I'm forced to, to give out, I'm put in a position to where, a woman knows how to get money out of you. And that's what I feel about a lot of, I look at my last relationship, right? That was probably my worst relationship. It wasn't her personality. It wasn't she can cook. She never cooked for me. It wasn't her beauty, right? Like I said, I matched on Tinder. Like I'm on Tinder. Matched on Tinder, and that was it. It was that, that grounding pound. But stay tuned. All right, let me do my review on La Isla. I just left La Isla. Just got dropped off by the Airbnb. I'm gonna touch on a couple topics that might help you. I don't have a problem with what women do for money, right? In certain countries where the economy is not great, right? I'm just being honest. And there's people in the States, women in the States that have paid for college, done various other things, right? And over time, as I've gotten older, I've become a lot more neutral, right? Here's the thing. A woman might meet a man, go on a date, go back to his house, have a good time, and her bills are still unpaid. And her college tuition for that semester is not paid, right? Where she's paying $350 per credit hour. She still don't know how she's going to put groceries in the house, right? And I'm not promoting pay for play, but I'm being realistic, right? A woman goes on a date with a guy, goes back to his house, has a good time. Her bills still not paid. Tuition still not paid. Car notes still not paid. She's 30 days late on American Express. But she had ground and pound with this man. But if you reverse it, if a woman is able to profit off of similar experiences, why not? Right? So I said that to say, in as a whole, I don't see a problem with it, right? If I was on a date with someone and she told me she did that, would I still talk to her? Of course not. But if she didn't tell me, I would be into it. And that's why I feel like sometimes what you don't know is the best known. Right, let me repeat that again. Don't steal my quote. Sometimes what you don't know is the best known, because you know not of her past, but right now, her current situation, what she tells you. But I said that to say that Lisa took some money out of me, right? And I'm not complaining, right? They didn't put a gun in my head, but she took some money out of me. I spent, and here's the breakdown with Lisa. To get a bottle, right? To get a service, right? To get a table, or you have to buy a bottle, right? And I'm going to post the bottle prices, pictures, video, screenshot, whatever the case may be in this video. You'll see it, right? You have to buy a bottle, right? And I understand that businesses have to make money. I know y'all think, hey, Chris, he's trying to get to the story. Stop making the story longer than it has to be. But I'm going to get to that. I know that a business has to make money, right? So I bought, one, I'm trying to stop drinking, but it doesn't work. I bought a bottle of Bailey's. My bank said it was like $172. A bottle of Bailey's in the store, it's like $30. I spent $172. So I understand that businesses have to make money. And I'm not talking about like Isla specifically, but clubs in the States. I've spent more than that on bottles in the States and foreign countries. So I'm not speaking negatively on the bottle price, because I've spent 2-3 times that amount on a bottle, right? It's nothing, right? But I'm just letting you know that just a bottle of Bailey's is like $172, right? Because every time I swipe my card, I get an alert from my bank, which I like. You know, keep an eye on your account. You know, make sure you're not getting the okie doke, right? So $172 for the Baileys, right? I'm going to post a picture of that too, right? You'll see that. So I got a section, right, near the front, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. The thing about me, man, if y'all been watching my videos, right, for a while, right? If y'all have been watching my videos for a while, right? Especially some of my Latin American videos, you know I like big booty women, right? You know I like thick, voluptuous women. That's like my crush. Like, seriously, like, I don't care if her face is trash. I mean, it can be average. I don't care if she don't have no chest, right? Her chest can look like this, right? Her chest can be flat like that. I don't care. But if she has a big butt, culo, grande culo, that's it. I don't care about nothing else, right? And there's a lot of grande culos in La Isla, right? It's a lot of grande culos in La Isla. And that's my crutch. But as I've said, and I'll say again, because I want you to know this, there is no ATM machines in La Isla. So if you need money, right, in La Isla, you're going to have to leave La Isla in an Uber. I prefer Ubers. I suggest Ubers. Go to the ATM machine, get money, and come back. And that's what I did. I went to the ATM machine and I came back. They have taxis there, but I don't trust taxis, right? No disrespect to taxis as a whole, but I prefer La Isla because it's a set price. I know before getting in that taxi how much it's going to be, right? I can choose between the premium stuff, the quick taxi, the comfort taxi. You know, you got a lot of options with Uber. Taxis sometimes, most of the time, they're going to hustle you. Taxis sometimes, most of the time, are going to be more than Ubers. Especially taxis that don't have no meter. Even with taxis with meters, they're going to try to hustle you. All right, so I go in there, get a table, right? Get Bailey's, right? Get a table. And I'm just surrounded by a bunch of beautiful women, man. Like, it could have easily been 100 women in La Isla. It could have easily been, EASILY, easily been 100 women in La Isla. Easily could have been 100 women in La Isla. 100 beautiful women. And let's be honest, you like what you like, I like what I like, right? I'm into big booty women, right? I'm into voluptuous women. So when I see that, when they come to me, I'm going to go in my pocket. I like that. That's a nice car. That's a nice car. I like that car. When I see a big booty woman, I'm going to go in my pocket. I'm going to pull out some money, and I'm going to give it to her, because that's what I like. So there is about 100 beautiful women, right? Listen, the same amount of women that you can find in the park, right, across from Gusto's, about the same amount of women, right? I'm lying. A good portion of the same amount of women, probably 70%, right, of the women from a numeric perspective that you can find in the park, you can find at Isla, right? I'm being honest. Of course, the later at night, the better, right? At Isla, you know what I'm saying? Go there about midnight or so, right? You go there at 9, 10 o'clock, you go there 11, 12, it's going to be more people there, right? They're going to be coming out of the woodwork. They're going to be coming from the back, right? Coming out, right? Because the customers are coming. But it's going to easily be, on a good night, 100 women, right? You're going to have all shapes and sizes. Listen, there's no obese women, right? There's no fat women. No woman in there I found was obese, right? None of them. So you're going to find something that interests you. Matter of fact, you're going to find some things that interest you. And I tip, man. It was 2 mil pesos, you know, whatever it is. I tip, right? And I usually, I do tip more than that, right? But it's like, it's hard for me to not produce money when I'm attracted to so many women. I want to repeat that again. It's hard for me not to produce money when I'm attracted to so many women, right? So they was just taking advantage of me, and I loved every bit of it. But I didn't go in there anticipating spending all the money that I spent, but it was well worth it. And this is what I did, right? Suggestion, right? If you're into it, cool. If you're not into it, cool. If you find something you really, really like, right, get a number, right? I got 2 numbers in there, right? 2 WhatsApp numbers. I'm going to hit them up later and see what they talking about. Get their number, right? These women in here, right, one, they're at work, right? It's a business. They're at work, right? But 2, if you see something you really, really like, get to know her, right? See what she's trying to do outside of the business, right? Because just like in Thailand and Pattaya and Soy Six and some of these other places, if you go to the restaurant with the mama san, if you go to Soy Six and say, how much is this girl, you're going to get a price, right? You're going to get a bar fine, right? But if you meet this same woman, right? If you meet this same woman at Lucifer, 808, Flex, Ibar, one of these other bars, she's not going to go for that same price. Let me repeat that again. If you meet a woman in the club, right, there's a bar fine, right? The company, the business has to make money. If you meet a woman in the club, it's going to be one price. If you meet her outside of the club, it's going to be a different price, right? So I suggest doing that in the Isla. If you see someone that you like, I grabbed 2 women's WhatsApps. I should have grabbed 1 or 2 more, but I grabbed 2. Because here's the thing. I know what you do for a living. I respect what you do for a living. You're looking for something. I'm looking for something. It's a win-win in my book. We're both looking for something. Let me repeat that again. We're both looking for something. So it's a win-win in my book. So I bagged 2 numbers in La Isla. I bagged 2 numbers, but it was... I'm going to be here a minute, so I might wait and do Fase 2 or Phase 2 and other strip club. I probably spent $400 tonight. I'm just being honest. The bottle was like $172, you know. I probably gave out another $200. I probably spent like $400 tonight, right? I'm just being honest with y'all, right? Because I love y'all, right? Pause. I probably spent $400. So I'm not really trying to go to Fase 2, Phase 2, whatever, and these other strip clubs and reinvent history, right? I know I'm not going to spend that much in those clubs because it's smaller, right? It's a little different there, right? Same but different. I know I'm not going to spend that there, but I need to let my bank account get some sleep. I need to let my bank account recover, right? I need to let my bank account recover. So that's La Isla, man. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I'm going to talk about Gusto's in another video. But if you're going to Colombia, man, if you're looking for... Listen, first come here. If you can find a wife here, you can find a girlfriend here, cool. Right? I respect that. If you can find a partner here, do it. If I could find a partner here, I would do it. Like, I wouldn't mind dating a Colombian woman, right? Like I said, I married a Dominican woman, right? She said we were together 5 years. I don't know how long we were together because we were married, but I was acting like I was single anyway, so it didn't really matter to me. But if I can find a good partner, cool. But if I also can find someone to have fun with, I'm down for that too. If I also can find someone to have fun with, I'm down for that too. To me, right, 4 or 5 years later, since I've been in Colombia and Medellin, I still feel that La Isla is one of the, or probably the best place to go if you're looking for short-term experiences, right? Short-term experiences. But I love La Isla, man. It was a movie. You can't take photos and videos of women, of course, but it was a movie, right? I'm gonna hit these women up later, see what they're talking about. But it was a movie, and I loved every bit of it. Right now, without going to the other strip clubs, La Isla has the #1 spot. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think any club's gonna take La Isla's #1 spot. First and foremost, because La Isla got like 100 women in it. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. Can you accurately judge 100 women to 30 or 40? Of course not. Can you compare a Rolls Royce to a Honda Accord? Of course not. They're both cars, but it's a numbers game. It's a luxury game, right? It's a numbers game. It's a luxury game. So, yeah, I'm back at my Airbnb. Back at my Airbnb. Oh, what floor, my friend? Okay. Look at the Airbnb. Go home, brush my teeth, take a shower, relax. That's the plan. Buenas noches. And relax, right? That's the plan for today. That's the plan. When you get off the elevator, you gotta turn left so people don't know where you stay. But that's the plan. Hey, that's the Isla's review. I might do a detailed one on the cam, the laptop cam. I got some, I was eating cashews and nuts in La Isla, so I'm gonna pause. The one thing that has stayed the same throughout time is La Isla. The one thing that has not changed with regarding the top hotspots in Colombia, Medellin specifically, is La Isla. The only thing that has gotten better over time is La Isla. The only thing that you can count on for a good time is La Isla. La Isla is that place that I've gone to time and time again, and I have not been disappointed. La Isla is that place that I've gone to over the years, and I'm amazed how time and time again La Isla gets better and better. And as I said in the video, La Isla has not only taken in money from us, right, like a lot of businesses do, but La Isla has taken that money that we've contributed to such a great time to make the place look better. The ambiance, the outside, the lights. Salute to La Isla staff and management, owners, right? Because that is how you grow a business. You take a concept, right? And the money that you're getting from profit, you invest in the business so you can make more business. And that's what separates a lot of those other clubs, Gusto, from La Isla, because Gusto's is the same Gusto's it was 5 or 6 years ago. And Gusto's used to be one of the hottest spots in Medellin. And now it's not. But we'll talk about that in another video. Man, this place, wow. Uh, I went in La Isla with probably like when I finally got inside of La Isla because as I've said in the video, they do not take uh you gotta have cash, right? You gotta have cash, right? So after going and doing an ATM search throughout Colombia, when I finally got in La Isla, I believe I had um like $100 or something that I had planned on throwing, right? That's what I had on me. I'm like, hey, I went to the cashier. I said, hey, cash me out, boss. Right? And he gave me all twos. You know what I'm saying? He cashed me out, right? But La Isla being La Isla, right? La Isla being La Isla, you are going to end up spending more money, right? It's like you going to the mall and you're like, man, I'm only gonna spend this, but you spend more than you thought you were gonna spend, right? And that is La Isla. La Isla is a place that's gonna have you emptying out your bank account. La Isla is a place that's gonna have you going back to the ATM machine. That is La Isla, right? So as I said, I went in there, right? Had the anticipation of spending one amount, but sadly enough, uh, I ended up spending another amount. So if you're not strong, right, like me, right, and the temptations and the lure of all that Lisla will bring to your life, uh, won't have you set boundaries, right? You're going to end up spending a lot of money, right? You are going to end up spending a lot of money, right? I think I spent about $400 in La Isla. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? This is the stack. This is the stack of money that I got from the cashier. Uh, my first trip to the cashier. Right? I know it's a horrible picture, but it is what it is. But you're gonna come out La Isla. Um, you're gonna come out from that cashier with a huge stack of cash, right? I got rid of that cash. You know what I'm saying? Then I went back and got another stack. So people gonna be like, hey, Chris keeps flying. You could have just bought some. And I'm gonna say, hey, you're right. I could have. And that's the catch with La Isla. Sometimes it's not necessarily about buying some, quote unquote, but sometimes it's more or less about the experience. I genuinely enjoyed my experience in La Isla more than my desire to fulfill my own fantasies of ground and pound. And that's just how it is with La Isla, man. That's how it is. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna spend a bunch of money. And you're gonna leave, right? I did bag a number or two from La Isla, right? One woman gave me her number and responded like 2 days later. I'm sure she's tired. She's dancing on poles all night, two kind of poles all night. She's going home to her family and her children, right? Another woman, I was talking to her. She's talking about like 250, $300, whatever it was. It's something crazy, right? Of course, I'm not paying that. So that never went nowhere. So these women, right? There's a woman right now, matter of fact, that used to work at Lisa. She might still do. She's very popular in the OnlyFans Medellin space. I'm not gonna say her name, but you know, if you know, you know. Like she used to work at La Isla. If you go back to some old La Isla videos, you're guaranteed to see her. She was like the face of La Isla a couple years ago. Literally, she was like the face of La Isla. Like they posted her life. You go back La Isla videos 2 years or something, 3 years, you'll see her. Right. Uh, there was this girl. I've told this story before years ago, but there was this girl that used to work at Lisa, right? She might still do, because who knows, right? People work there when they need money. And she had gave me some crazy amount too. I DM'd her. She gave me a crazy amount, right? And she don't know I know where she works at, right? I DM'd her. She talking about, I forgot, maybe $300 for an hour or something crazy, right? My mind, I'm like, I know where you work at. I know I can take you down for, you know what I'm saying? $100 at least, whatever the price is, right? So I did what anyone would do, right? I ain't go there looking for her, but I went to La Isla one day, right? And I'm sitting in the back, right? And I see her. And I see her. And to be honest with you, she probably talks to 3,000 guys, right? You know, she's very, very, very popular on the Medellin OnlyFans space, right? She's probably, been grounded and pounded by 100 guys and 60 girls, right? I'm just telling you, her OnlyFans is crazy. Orgies, threesomes, it might be 50,000 people in the room. Like she don't have no limits, right? She if you know, you know, right? She don't have no limits, right? I was subscribed to her OnlyFans for a minute. She gonna do it all, right? Men, women, men and women, women and women, and men and men, men. Like So long story short, I'm in Isla, right, and I see her. And my mom was like, "Yeah, you tried to." And my mom was like, "Yeah, I remember you." And I know she don't remember me, right? Because you know, she probably be with, you know, 10, 15 guys a week, right? No disrespect, but that's her job to make money. She makes money by doing grounding pound plus her OnlyFans. I've seen her OnlyFans. I know what she does for OnlyFans, right? So I'm back there and I see her, right? I'm just sitting and I look up and she's right there, like 4 feet in front of me, right? And she has her back to me, right? Because where I was sitting, I was like back, not in the front row where the stage is. I was like in the back, right? So I don't think she seen me, right? It was kind of dark, right? Like most women aren't looking at the people in the back of the club. So I was like in a couch in the back, and I seen her, and I remember at that second, oh, she tried to beat me in the head, and I went jumped in her DM trying to meet her. But now she's at work, and the price is different. So man, I did what anyone would do. I said, "Hey, come here." Oh, I think I went up to her. I said, "Let's go back. Let's go back to the room." I cut all the small talk. We went out. We went to the back. We did what we did, and that was it. I left, and I felt good about myself, mainly because tried to overcharge me, knowing I could have got her for 33% of the price she wanted. She wanted like $300, something crazy. And that's the thing about some of these Instagram women, man. Like some of these Medellin women is let's on a good weekend night, because I only go to at least on the weekends. Right, I try to go on the weekends. You know, it can be more women on the weekend. On a good weekend night, right? It might be 100 women in Luisla, right? Because there are two go on stage. It's a rotation all night. You're never gonna see the same two girls, right? It's a rotation on the stage all night, and it's also a rotation of 30 women walking around, right? On a weekend night, you definitely gonna see 100 women, right? You think those women aren't on Tinder? You think those women aren't on Bumble and some of these other dating sites? You think these women don't have a great Instagram following? I said that to say that some of these women, man, and I've said this in another video, you really got to know a woman's past, man. And I only say this about Medellin specifically, right? Because I've seen how it's changed for the worst over the years, where it's a lot more women selling than it was before. Like before, you could find a right woman. I've always, I'm going to find someone else, find someone different, and find a relationship. But that's not the case no more, man. 5 years ago, you might find, a few women that's down for relationships, down for something serious. Right now, it's like, and I'm talking about this in other videos, like, everybody's selling, right? And a regular woman that I did have, I want to take them out in public, right? We want to walk around the mall. We want to go, to the club together. Like we want to be outside together when it's daylight. But I said that to say that with all the women that sell in Isla, they're also on social media. They're also on dating apps. They're also out here trying to make extra money. So when you're meeting a woman in La Isla, if you're not down for that pay for play, you really want to know her history. And I've tried to beat this in the head of men and passport bros and travelers. You really want to know a woman's past in Colombia, in Medellin specifically. I'm telling y'all this out of the kindness of my heart, right? Because I want the best for y'all. Y'all really need to know a woman's past, man. Because like I said before, I was subscribed to like 5 or 6 women in Medellin's OnlyFans at one point in time. Like I was just subscribe. Dang, oh man, this is what she did. Subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And this young lady that used to be the face of La Isla. I mean, you can find her on La Isla's Instagram page maybe 2, 3 years ago, right? If you know, you know, right? She's still doing videos, and I follow her on Instagram still. But this lady used to be the face of La Isla. They always posted her. You know, you need to know a woman's past, man. You need to know a woman's past because you're gonna go down here to Colombia and be with someone that's selling. You're gonna be down there in Colombia, you know, and she gonna say she sleep, she tired, it's 10 o'clock, she's in bed, you know, she's about to go to sleep. Good night, Ti amo. She can say, I love you, passport, bro, I love you, Billy, John, William, Mike, Tony. She can say all of them, it's 10 o'clock. And she gonna say she tired and she going to bed. But 10:30, she's gonna be at least 10:30, she's gonna be at least making that money, right? And I feel like I swear the bottle was like 180. And I'm gonna show you the bottle prices at the end of this video. Stay tuned. The bottle prices will be at the end of this video. The bottle was like 180, and that was like Bailey's, right? That was on the cheaper end. But I think I spent like $400 in Lisa for sure, right? I spent like 400, right? It was the experience. Do I suggest doing it? And you know, but it was the experience. Would I do it again? Possibly, possibly. I just might. But here's my take on the Easter, man. It's still the #1 spot to go to in Colombia. Listen, I went to Isla, I went to Fase 2, that other little trash club. I remember the bad experience, so I ain't go there, right? I just remember it being trash. I remember like it was yesterday, just sitting down, ain't nobody come and talk to me. Had to buy a bottle. I bought some little bottle. I sat down, wasn't nobody dancing on the poles. It was like a pole in the middle of the room. Wasn't nobody on it. Girls coming to talk to me. All of them look like trash. If you go back to my uh strip club review videos in Medellin, this is what I talk. This happened years ago, and I still remember. I just remember it being so trash that it wasn't even worth my Uber getting there. Right? It wasn't even worth my Uber. Wasn't worth the $5 in Uber to get there. That's how trash I know it was. Right? I was and go back to it like, I'm sure nothing's changed. I'm sure because all the women are at least. So if you're gonna have a good time, man, have good music, right? Have something to look at, enjoy the environment, have a drink, whatever the case may be. Hands down, you can't go wrong with Easter. You really can't go wrong. If you want to have a good time as far as Medellin nightlife and clubs, Medellin is nothing without La Isla. Seriously. Medellin is nothing without La Isla. La Isla is the best thing that Medellin has to offer. But yeah, I'm gonna post this bottle screenshot video that I took on Easter so you can get an idea of how much bottles cost because you're gonna need to buy a bottle. This ain't listen, this ain't at Fase 2 where you got a bar, right? You can buy a beer and sit at the bar. This ain't that kind of party. And I know guys have said, hey, I've read some comments, hey, you gotta buy a bottle to sit at the club. Listen, if you don't want to go to Lisa and buy a bottle, don't go to Lisa. Go to Fase 2, phase 2. You can sit at the bar and look crazy, right? I've done it. I don't mind it, right? If you don't want to buy a bottle, do not go to La Isla. I've seen comments on La Isla's Google, oh, you got to buy a bottle. Listen, if you go to a club, right, and they say you got to buy a bottle to sit down, you don't want to buy a bottle, leave. 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 Like, you don't got to get on the Google reviews, I had to buy a bottle at least. You ain't had to do nothing. You could have left. I hate people that go to La Isla. Oh man, I had to buy a bottle. It was $250, $300. Leave. No one did this and said, hey man, you buy a bottle right now, right? Leave. leave. Don't be a complainer. Leave. So that's my take on La Isla, man. Bottle. You're gonna get an idea of the bottle prices right now.